B. Nasals. The two commonest nasal sounds are written with the letters mu and nu, and should be pronounced more or less like English M and N. In the case of nu, as with the so-called dental stops, the sounds written with delta, theta and tor, you should try to articulate it with the tongue tip on the back of the top teeth, rather than on the alveolum, the ridge above them. Try it now. There is a point to note about nu at the end of the word. Spellings found in inscriptions strongly suggest that we should change the value of final nu to assimilate it to, that is, make it more like, the beginning of the next word. For example, we find in the city, en pole, written in inscriptions as em pole. The wolf, ton lukon, we find written as tol lukon, with two lambdas. And in roads, en rodor, as errodor, with two rows. We do this assimilation a little bit in the recorded extracts, although our instincts tend to follow the spelling and to pronounce word final nu always as n. This makes again for greater clarity in class, although this is perhaps a feature of pronunciation worth practicing in the interests of authenticity. There is a third nasal sound in Greek, the sound of English ng, ng. This is represented with the letter gamma when it comes before kappa, chi or gamma. So, for example, ankos, a bend or hollow. Ankor, I squeeze. Angos, a vessel or container. We're fairly sure of this because the gamma in these positions is often replaced with nu on inscriptions. It is at least possible, perhaps even probable, that gamma was pronounced ng also before mu and just possibly before nu. For example, the word for deed may well have been pronounced pragma rather than pragma. This is a controversial question, but on the available evidence, it is perfectly defensible either to say always ngm, or to go consistently for gm, or to argue on a word-by-word basis, now for the one pronunciation, now for the other. You will hear both pronunciations in our recorded extracts. Listen out for them and try to say which pronunciation each speaker is favouring. C. Double consonants. Double consonants are to be pronounced double, heavy, long. In English, usually a double consonant is a spelling convention to indicate that the preceding vowel is short. Compare, for example, English sitting and sighting, pinning and pining, or tapping and taping. We certainly do not pronounce the double consonant in sitting or pinning as double. Occasionally in English, usually in compounds, double consonants are genuinely double, or heavy, or long. Think of disservice, unnamed. And this is the effect to aim at in pronouncing ancient Greek. Sometimes this can be vital for distinguishing forms. So, for example, angello means I announce in the present tense with double lambda, and is opposed to single lambda in the future, angelor, I will announce, or tosakos, the shield, with one kappa, as against hosakos, the sack, with two. The only exception to this rule is the special case of double gamma, which I touched on a moment ago under nasals. Remember that double gamma is pronounced ng. D. Consonant clusters. There are 3 single letters of the Greek alphabet which represent what we call clusters of consonants. 2, psi and xi, are perfectly straightforward. Xi we can regard almost as our letter X, that is K plus S, X. And similarly, psi is simply P plus S, ps. The third such letter, zeta, is a little more interesting, although we can be confident about its pronunciation in classical Attic. Zeta may have started life as z, dz, if you like, but for most of our period, it almost certainly stands for zd, zd. For example, the Greek for to Athens is Aternasta. That is the accusative plural of Aternae, Aternas, and the postposition de, to or towards. It is written as one word, so that the final sigma of Aternas and the initial delta of de come together, and that SD combination is written with a zeta.